I'm excited for this one. So I bought this on Temu. Let's see if we can do resin on a budget. So this is a mixing stand. Just means you have to see all the extra clutter on my desk. Now, there's a couple of things to mention about this. One, these are not silicone, these are plastic, so you really need to make sure that you give these a good clean once you finish mixing. Two, it obviously feels cheap compared to something a bit high end, but hopefully we'll be able to do all this on a budget. Now this controls it to go up and down, which is this one. And down, obviously. Now you won't really use this other than, you know, when you actually lift the mixer up. And then on this part at the top, you've there got your on and off switch. So that's on, it gives you the timer, so this one's at 180 at the minute, and then you've got different modes that you can use. The middle one is like your play and pause. And then the faster you go, quicker it goes. So we go up to A5, which is running clockwise, and then anti-clockwise. Yep, anti-clockwise the other way, and then you just press to stop it. So for the first time, I'm actually going to do some epoxy resin, also using this and also using some budget-friendly epoxy resin. This is again from Temu, so I'm just going to stand that back out of the way a little bit. And in this box you get two of these cute little resins. Each one of these are 250ml. You've got part A, part B. This is by Fun Epoxy. So on there it says crystal clear, 40 minutes work time, self-leveling, non-flammable, no VOCs and low odour. So I'm going to get these mixed and show you how this works. Right, let's get these open. You need to let me know whether you actually like the opening noises. Is it a bit like an ASMR thing if I don't talk? Would it be something that you enjoy? Okay, so on this it says a mixing ratio of 1:1. So that's 70 of that one. And we're going up to 140 with this one. Let's see how good this mixer is. And it's got a silicone base as well, so it's a good thing not to be a slippy thing. It's quite exciting this, I've never done this before. Right, let's have a look what we can do. And I want to start off slow. Let's do a A3. Because I know that you can end up putting too much bubbles in it. Right, it is, if you leave it, it is squizzing the cup at the same time. You think it wouldn't slip on this mat, maybe you need to use a silicone cup. So I'm just going to hold that in place while it mixes. And it's set for 180, which is 3 minutes. Okay, that's it, it's 3 minutes. I feel like we need to do it for longer than that, but I'm just going to raise this up. I'm going to let that dribble off, and then I'm going to give it a scrape, and then we'll put it back on again for another 2 minutes. I'm just going to give that a quick wipe off. I'm not after cleaning it, I just don't want it to carry on dripping whilst I give it a stir by hand. I want to just make sure I've got everything from the sides and the bottom all mixed in. This is so different from working with UV resin. So I feel like I've mixed all that in very well. So I'm going to put that back under the machine for another 2 minutes just to mix any of those last bits in. And I'm going to do this one at a lower speed just so we don't get any bubbles in there that we don't want. It still spins the cup on a slow speed as well. I'm pretty sure if we used a silicone cup that wouldn't happen, it would actually stick quite well. Unfortunately it means that I can't just leave it to do itself whilst I sort other things out. I'm just going to give this a wipe off with baby wipe for now, and then I'll take it to the sink in a bit and get that washed. I do think the silicone ones would be better, but we're trying to do this on a budget and this is what we get with this kit. So I'm actually going to pull that out because I think that'll be easier to clean, she says. There we go. I just want to show you what the results are of that mix. Let's have a look if there's bubbles in there. Let's have a look if it's completely mixed. I can see quite a few bubbles in there. But what I'm going to do is just make sure everything has been mixed from every angle. It seems to have done its job, although I'm not sure if how many bubbles are in there is because of the machine, or something that I've done, or it's the resin. You can see how many bubbles are in there. There's quite a lot. It's definitely not bubble free. So for the frog's eyes, I'm going to be using UV resin black from Let's Resin. I'm just going to put a small amount on here, and it's just so that we can get the eyes on the frog painted before we do our main colour. So I'm not going in with a spoon or anything like that. I'm just going to drop this glitter in. You might not even see it, but I just want to put something down just in case we can get them eyes to sparkle. I'm just going to mix it together with one of these mini micro brushes. I don't know what they're actually called, but you get a ton of them for very little money. Anything that I use in this video, I will be putting links to them in the description, so you're welcome to go and check them out. If you do buy from there, it's just a very small commission to myself, won't cost you anything extra, and neither will subscribing. So click that subscribe and like button, it's really appreciated. So I'm going to go in, you can only just see where the eyes are up at the front. So I'm basically going to be painting this in and then curing it straight away. Cure that up. So my idea for this little froggy, which I've already done the eyes for, is I'm planning on pouring several different greens in there and putting some glitter in there as well. So I'm going to be using mica powder to get different results. Hopefully without knocking everything over like I always do. So I'm putting a very small amount in each of these. So that's all the mica powders in there that I'm going to be using. I do want another one for the glitter. I'm using the Leobro green in the holographic glitter. I will put a link to these in the description. I've never used these before, so I don't know what they're like. But it's a very fine glitter, which really I should have my nail extractor on for, because it ends up going everywhere. And I didn't think ahead. So I do want it quite sparkly. I'm just going to do that with the clear resin with that. So we've got quite a lot going on there. Just move these over to one side. These colours are really yummy. Lots of bubbles coming up on this, which I feel for the first time we're doing it is sort of expected, so I'm not too fussed about that. Oh, I love this green glitter. Thing is it going to sink or float? Right, so how am I going to pour these into the frog? Well, I'm just going to wing it, as they say. No particular plan apart from I want to do kind of a dirty pour. I'm not sure if I want to mix these together and tip it in, or whether I should just do it randomly. We'll do it randomly. I'm going to start off with this one and this one at the same time. And I think we need a bit of glitter going in. And I think we definitely made too much. I did plan all this. You won't believe I did. But we can make some pretty pendants or something afterwards. And I want, if I can, to get the bottom layer with this glitter stuff. With little feet to be glittery. I'm just going to give that a tap. I think we're good with that one. The rest of these, I'm going to get these little dice. I will make one of each colour. I might have to do a dirty pour on the last one, I think. And this one, I think this one needs more than one colour. Let's mix some glitter into this one. So I'm going to leave them to drain in there. So I'm just going to go in on these and just give it a little bit of a swirl. Same with this one, although I think I've put too much in that one. And I'm not going to stir this one, I'm just going to let it do its own thing and pour how it wants to pour. And it seems we do have a little bit left. So I'm going to bob him off to the side, wait for any bubbles to pop up, and then we'll burn them off. In the meantime, these I'm just going to chuck into a random shape. And on here I have got a couple of Christmas trees and a couple of apples. So let's do some pouring into them. It's always good having little charms. I'm just going to go around these at the base because I know that's where bubbles like to hide, especially UV resin, which I've used before. We will find out if epoxy does the same or not. So we've tested the mixer, we've done a frog, we've done loads of green stuff, we've still got some green stuff left. So I think we've done quite well for this little project. It's so weird not putting them under the UV light. There's a couple of surface bubbles, not too many. These looking quite good. We'll leave them off. So have a little sleep overnight. Just any bubbles on this one. Right, for this one, I need to work a bit quick because it's getting warm. But I'm going for a heart-shaped holographic coaster using some of this gorgeous glitter. And I want to try and get as dark as possible, but I don't really have a lot of dark red in mica powder. So I'm going with the closest that I have to red. Let's give that a mix and see how that looks. We can always mix a little bit more up if we don't have enough. And I'll leave that over to the side to start debubbling. I'll get some of this gorgeous red glitter, which I'm going to hold over the top just in case it's something that I've not used. Yep, we need to take that seal off. And this is a mixture of large and small holographic red glitter. I'm just going to coat all that. It's getting a bit gooey now, so I need to work a lot quicker than what I am. Let's give that a minute to do its thing and release some bubbles while I get the coaster we're going to use. This is the coaster that I'm going to use. It's got holographic hearts on the front, and I'm hoping this one works because I've had these before and they've not worked great. So with this I want it basically around the edge. I'm going to take that right into the corners, make sure it's covered everywhere. We may need to add a bit more, but we'll see what happens when I put the other colour on. This is quite a thick jelly now, so I don't think I'm going to use it in this project. But we do still need extra volume in this, which I'm going to do with clear. I'm going to leave that off to the side and let any bubbles come up from that. And what can we do with this mess? We need to do something with it. Let's see what I've got. Let's do a heart, why not? Stop ruining everything, it'd be helpful. I'll put a little bit more of this resin in just to thicken it up. I don't think I'm going to get another large project done. This is really gooey now. I think I just took too long. Now I'm just having fun. Let's see what we can get out of this one. Yeah, it's gone gooey as well. another overpour. No, this one's domed. It's meant to be like that. And the rest of this, let's do bright orange. So let's do the bright orange. Oh, actually the bright yellow wants to make an appearance instead. Let's do that. So it is quite thick, this now. I know it's going to be a fail, but I just figured why not try and use it. I took too long. And this one is absolutely full of bubbles. Now here's food for thought. How do you clean this stuff up? UV is really easy. You just put it under the UV light, let it go hard, and then pick it off or pull it off. How are you supposed to clean this stuff? Because I don't have a clue. Because all I've got is an absolute sticky mess. I mean, the disposable cups are easy to figure out. You dispose of them. What do you do with the rest of what's in your pot? Right, let that settle into its own thing. Right, I think all we can do now at this point is burn off the bubbles, leave them to cure, and then we'll go from there. This has got a lot of bubbles. Micro bubbles, you can see them all popping, there's loads of them. Right, so they're all on a level surface. I'm going to leave them overnight and I will be demoulding tomorrow. This is where we were running out of the mixture, so we added a bit of mica powder. Let's give it that nice translucent kind of pinky red. That looks really cute. I like that. There's very few bubbles in this one, so I'm hopeful, well, until you look at the back. And then on the back we've got some bubbles in there, but it is really pretty. Not bad for my first try of epoxy. That one's even nicer. There's no bubbles sort of like on the surface of that one, which is good. Right, what are we on next? Let's do these little squares. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to use these for yet. It does look like we've missed a little bit on the corner there. Nice sharp edges on that one. Not missed any of the corners, which is really good. Very interesting, nice and sharp corners. Yep, really pleased with that. Not sure what I'm going to use these for as yet, because they're not like a flat embellishment that you could use. Well, this one's quite interesting. It looks like something a bit on the magical side. So we've got bits of glitter in here, bits of marbling of different greens. Glitter sort of goes all the way through. Oh, I like that one. There's quite a lot of translucent green in there, and then we've got the glitter that's going through it. Quite like that one. But again, I'm not entirely sure what I use them for. And the glitter has gone throughout. It's not stayed in one place, but it has more gone towards the bottom. But it's good to know that this glitter will actually be throughout the project rather than just in one area. So that gives me a bit of hope for the frog. and this one was just the glitter and clear. So it has sort of congregated a little bit more towards the bottom, but it's definitely stayed throughout as well. That's really pretty, that. So this was the bottom that goes against the mould, but you can see that the glitter has gone all the way through. I was just thinking you could use this as dice. I think that might actually be what it's for, the mould. I bought it for a different reason, but yeah, it could be dice. Although I'm not sure if they'll end up landing the same way every time, because obviously glitter will be more heavy. Glitter will be heavier, so it may land with the glitter side down. Give that a go. That's the main glitter one, so in theory that should sort of land on the bottom. And it did, yeah. Try again. No, that wasn't the bottom. That was not the bottom. Is that the bottom? Yep. Oh, it's not landing on the bottom every time. In fact, that's the top. That's the top again. That's on the bottom. That's on the side. So yeah, I don't think the glitter makes much difference. Right, let's demould this work of art. Hopefully it will be. So we went in and it was quite gooey when we actually put this down. So there is quite a lot of little dots on the bottom where we burnt them off, but obviously it stayed where it was because it wasn't fluid enough to sort of come back. It's supposed to be holographic hearts on this mould, so I'm hoping that this works, because on the previous holographic ones that I bought there was no holographic that actually transferred to the piece I was making. So let's have a look. Yay, we got the holographics. That is beautiful. I think looking at that now though, I would put the glitter around the sides like around the edges like I've already done, but instead of tipping in the mica powder, I'd just go straight forward for the clear colour. So I'm interested in making that one again. Now unfortunately with holographic designs you can't use a top coat. So where I've got tiny little dots where there have been bubbles, unfortunately we can't do a top coat on that because that will get rid of this heart thing. But now I've had a play with that, I'm really happy. It doesn't feel totally cured yet. It is only about 12 hours, so it does still need to continue curing. I can take this down on the edge to make that a little bit neater, which is not a problem. It'll bring up a shine there. There is one of the dots that needs filling in there, which I can do with a bit of UV resin. But apart from that, on my first try, I'm really pleased with that. And that holographic glitter that we used has stayed throughout the coaster. It's not just on the top or the bottom. It's gone throughout and stayed throughout. Whether that's because it was quite gooey when we was pouring it, I'm not 100% certain, but we'll see if we can do the same thing with another one. Happy with that. It doesn't feel as heavy as UV either. Don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. And I'm not sure if I should back this off with black. But yeah, it's a good result with that mould. This one was from Temu again, and it did the transition of the holographic really pretty. Actually shows up really nice on the red, and I'm wondering whether it'd actually have been a nicer thing to put red pigment throughout and maybe pour this with red pigment, paste rather than a mica powder, which has left it quite translucent. But we can have a play with that with the future videos. So yeah, very pleased with that one. Right, let's have a look at our froggy. There is a little bit of overpour, which I should be able to just snip off, but we'll sort that out once we've had a look at this cute little guy. Let's hope his eyes have stayed in place, not floated away. So this was like a mixture pour that we did, which is something that I was intending to do. It wasn't like a last minute thing. I wanted to sort of mix some greens together to make it a little bit more interesting. Please stay together, froggy. Don't lose your eyes. Well, there's nothing left in the mould, which is a good sign. Let's have a look at how cute he is. That's worked out beautiful. Oh, I'm so pleased with that. Things have stayed exactly where I put them as well. The glitter I wanted on sort of the back and on the feet, which has happened. The eyes are there. Yeah, that one's a bit squiffy, but that one looks really good. Quite like the mould. He's not like adorable, but he is cute. So there's my first little froggy I've made. Oh, I really love him. He's so cute. Ready, ready. My first little froggy is so beautiful. I like him. And yeah, it does actually glitter more in real life as it does on this camera.